Now, in our following example, we are again factoring another trig expression, but this time the expression we're dealing with is cosecant squared x minus cotangent x minus 3. So we can go ahead and start by just rewriting the problem to take our first step in actually figuring out what the factored form of this is going to be. Now, in the previous cases, we were dealing with substitutions. We were letting some variable equal the trig function, but in this particular case, that's not necessarily going to be very useful because we have cotangent of x here, and then we have a different trig expression on that side. So in reality, we can't necessarily say that there's two separate substitutions that we can do here to factor out the polynomial here. What we can do, though, is go back to the Pythagorean identities, particularly the one that states that cosecant squared x is equal to 1 plus cotangent squared x. That is going to be a substitution that we can go ahead and do. So where this cosecant squared x appears, I'm now instead going to write down 1 plus cotangent squared x minus cotangent x minus 3. So now the only trig function that I'm dealing with is a cotangent, which is ideal because then I could actually take the substitution into consideration. But we still have to figure out what is the final simplified version of this expression because we have a 1 and a negative 3 right here, which could be combined. So this simplifies to cotangent squared x minus cotangent x minus 2. So now we can let some other variable, let's call it u this time, equal cotangent of x. Now I'm not using x in the substitution here because the argument of the trig function is x, whereas in the previous video it was theta, so I was able to use x in my substitution, but now I can't, so I'm not. But what I can do is say that if I do allow this substitution to happen, where I'm allowing u to equal cotangent of x, then my expression, my polynomial expression, becomes u squared minus u minus 2, which again goes right back to the x method of factoring. So let's identify the product in this case, which is going to be negative 2, because we multiply the constant with the leading coefficient in this case, which is a 1, so 1 times negative 2. So the product is negative 2 and the sum is negative 1 because, again, it's the number that goes with the linear term in our polynomial. So two possible values or factors of this situation would be negative 2 and positive 1. And because the leading coefficient in this case is a 1, we don't have to divide the potential factors by anything. So in reality, the factored form of this polynomial is u minus 2 times u plus 1. But again, the u stands for cotangent of x, so that's going to have to be plugged back in. So cotangent of x minus 2 times the cotangent of x plus 1. Now, do not confuse this with the cotangent of x minus 2 or the cotangent of x plus 1. These are not the same things as these factors that we've been dealing with. So just wanted to point that out because it could lead to confusion. What this is actually saying is that this is the cotangent of x minus 2 and the cotangent of x plus 1 on the outside. So at the end of the day, this is the final answer that we're dealing with here today.